My friends, how are you? It is absolutely fantastic to see you for yet another video, and I hope you are all doing well out there. I am starting to notice that the election season is starting to heat up as we go towards these midterms. Politics are becoming hot again, and people are once again starting to pay attention to what's going on with political commentators all over the internet. And I mean, that's good news because I can see the views starting to go up, and that's always a fantastic thing when, you know, your views die when everyone stops paying attention. That's a little bit frustrating, but you know, it all runs in cycles, and eventually people start paying attention to politics again, and those start going up, and you just got to hang in there for the tough times, right? And that's always nice. But my friends, my God, are we now once again dealing with the same thing we always deal with the Trump supporters when we're coming up on an election? Sorry, excuse me, I forgot what I was saying there. And that is complete ignorance and stupidity surrounding every one of us. And I've been kind of amused over the last few days as I have been under assault, my friends, by the Trump supporters out there that are very, very angry at me because I took the time to read about what's going on in the world and connect the dots and explain to the rest of the world, explain to everybody, excuse me, why these things are happening and why it is Donald Trump's fault with all the bullshit that he is doing in the country. And man, it's been an incredibly amusing last few days around here as the Trump humpers are showing up in mass numbers, getting up off of their cousins just long enough to type literally the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life. And I gotta tell you, it is amusing watching them get so emotional and whining and crying and bitching all over my comment section, because we know that is the MAGA movement in a nutshell. It's not based on anything in reality. It's not based in facts. Fucking MAGA is completely detached from reality. They don't even know what they're talking about most of the time, and they don't exist on the same planet we do. Their head is in the fucking clouds, right? Excuse me. But most importantly, it's all just these emotional outbursts, these temper tantrums from grown men as they do their best to bend over backwards and jump through hoops and bend all time in reality to explain why Donald Trump's actually the greatest president that has ever existed in the United States. And my friends, today we're going to take a little bit of time to make fun of that and piss off these Trump supporters just a little bit more, because I've always said here on YouTube, you know, like, getting views is the name of the game. That's really all it is. And happy views are the same as sad views, right? So YouTube doesn't know that you're super grumpy while you're watching my video. So the Trump supporters are back in full force, helping to prop my channel up and making sure that my videos see the light of day. And for that, I can't thank them enough for all their support they're providing to the channel right now. On that note, though, before I get into making fun of these fucking idiots, I want to say thank you to everyone for everything that you guys do here on this channel, helping to support what it is that I do, in hopes that one day my video will land in front of millions of Americans that were too afraid to stand up for themselves and watched as my hillbilly redneck ass sat here in front of a camera and realized, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it too. And that's how we change the world, my friend. So I thank you guys for everything that you do. Excuse me. From watching the videos, sorry, I'm still kind of struggling over here. From watching the videos to leaving a like and a comment and subscribing to the channel and sharing your videos out here social media. I appreciate everything you guys do with that. The channel memberships, the super chats, the super thanks, everything you guys do there. Thank you so much for that support to my channel. And of course, my favorite one, the buy me a coffee link, because they only take 5% of any donations over there, leaving the donations you guys make to go to whatever the hell it is I'm doing over here, trying to survive this bullshit economy that Donald Trump has created for every one of us. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you guys do. And I'm sorry if you missed me yesterday. I didn't upload a video, and I had a few people reach out and ask if I was okay. And I've been a little bit busy this morning, and I haven't responded to them yet either, because I've been busy trying to get everything going to get on down the road again with this old truck that I got. And I was fine. I was faced with a very tough decision yesterday in my life, and I had to make a decision. And I'm not sure if I made the right decision or the wrong decision, but I did what I had to do in the moment, and I'm going to tell you about it. See, yesterday I got done early. I had like a 10 a.m. delivery, and they got it done really quick, and I wasn't reloading till now this afternoon. And I realized after weeks of running down the road and kicking out these videos every day, and I've been working really hard over here driving the truck, and I have a bad habit. That alarm's on my side in case case anyone's freaking out, wondering where the beeping's coming from. I know people get worried sometimes and start looking around. But I also have had a bad habit lately of staying up a little too late playing video games with my friends when I should be getting my ass to sleep. And yesterday my tough decision was between recording a video for you guys and taking a nap, and I chose to take a nap. So I felt very refreshed afterwards, but sorry I missed you guys. Anyways, to get back to the fucking point about what is going on here, my friends, I have angered the Trump humpers here in America as we barrel towards these midterms, and they try to do anything in their power to shut me up and discredit me, and even going as far as threatening me, but I don't give a fuck. Like, that's the nature of being on the internet, is you're going to eventually cross paths with a keyboard warrior that's gonna beat you up real good if he ever sees you at the fuel island. You know how these fucking clowns are, right? If I had a Venn diagram, my friend, and I know I've told you guys this before, but if there was a Venn diagram behind me that showed two circles, one representing all the times that truckers told me they would kick my ass for talking shit about their orange Jesus, and all the times truckers have actually kicked my ass, one circle would be behind me, another one would be like in fucking Montana right now. It wouldn't be anywhere near me, and I'm not in Montana right now, just in case anyone's wondering. The point of that joke, because you didn't know my location, which kind of doesn't make the joke hit very hard, is those circles are nowhere near fucking overlapping. What are we actually talking about? And it's such a shocking thing because we have to deal with these children and their temper tantrums on a daily basis, because the minute you confront them with facts, they do a number of different things. They either lie, they completely distort reality, and repeat Fox News talking points that aren't based in reality at all, and then take a victory lap on something they know fuck all about, and then they act like they won the argument. Or the next thing they do is threaten violence against people because they can't handle that they're too goddamn dumb to be involved in the conversation that they are involved in. Excuse me. Anyways, they've been very angry lately is the point that I've been making, or the point that I am making. And it's been quite an interesting thing because you guys know that recently I did a video talking about fuel prices, diesel prices here in the United States right now, where last time I was up in Pennsylvania, I was leaving there and diesel was at $6.13 a gallon, and that's the pump price. Of course we get discounts and things like that, and that was one of the things the Trump pumpers were trying to say to me, is that maybe I should get a fuel card with fuel discounts or something like that. Even with fuel discounts, the diesel's like $5.50, $5.40, somewhere in that range, as opposed to before Donald Trump started this bullshit war that he started. You had your diesel in the maybe mid threes, and you could get with discounts you could get it down to, you know, just under $3 a gallon. And, you know, the national average, according to Mr. Global, last time I watched him track this is what I meant to say, was $5.40 a gallon. The facts of the matter are, motherfuckers, that diesel is expensive, and it doesn't, and saying get a fuel card with discounts, or fucking what was your pump price compared to your discount price, doesn't change the fact that we're paying almost double what we paid just before Donald Trump started this bullshit war that he has started, right? And one of the funny things I keep running into is, you know, this justification from the Trump supporters about what is going on, and saying, well, I didn't hear you complain in 2022 when fuel prices were high under Joe Biden. Stop fucking saying that. Yes, you did. If you're talking about me in particular, then yes, the fuck you did, and you're being dishonest. You're MAGA being dishonest. Can you believe it? Is anyone shocked? I almost fell out of my chair. MAGA being dishonest? Say it ain't fucking so. But 100% here on YouTube, on my old trucking channel, in 2022, when fuel prices were through the fucking roof, yes, the fuck you did hear me bitching and complaining about it. What you don't like, though, is the part where I also pointed to the facts then, and you can't point to like a single fact where Joe Biden's wars made fuel prices go higher, right? You can't point to really much of anything that was a Joe Biden policy that increased fuel prices, and a lot of these cousin fuckers will go, what about the Keystone Pipeline? Look, the Keystone Pipeline's a little bit over my head, which is something that MAGA needs to acknowledge also. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and that's why I spend a lot of time listening to people smarter than me. Yeah, it's a crazy thing to do. Listen to people smarter than you. Then you can go read and look stuff up, but like they give you a good basis on where to start from, right? But their whole thing is this Keystone Pipeline, where as far as I understand, it wasn't like this dramatic lifesaver. It wasn't like great oil. It wasn't going to do fuck all. I wish that alarm would stop going off, my friends. That's really fucking frustrating. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna kill that sumbitch right now. I just turned the truck off. It's nice out there today. It's nice and cool, so I don't need that AC running necessarily to finish this video. That'll fix that up for now until we start driving. But anyways, the Keystone XL was not the savior to everything, right? But when you go back and look at the fucking facts of what had happened, well, it's kind of similar to what's going on now. The Russia-Ukraine war has been a huge problem for the refineries, as far as I know, for quite a while. And that war over there drove up fuel prices, right? It 100% did. We can also look at Donald Trump completely fucking the economy the last time he was in office, when he botched COVID, sent the economy on a downward spiral that took years of Joe Biden and the Democrats to fix. We all fucking knew, those of us that didn't have our heads up our asses, knew that things were going to be rough when Joe Biden came into office. There was a lot of work to be done and a lot to be fixed. So you bet your sweet ass I was bitching about fuel prices in 2022, but I was putting the blame where it belonged instead of making shit up about how this must be Joe Biden's fault for what's going on. These people will believe any goddamn thing you've told them, right? But that's sort of been one of the battles that has been raging on lately, is just a complete denial of reality. If they're talking about me in particular and what I was doing in 2022, then they're just straight up lying. That's all there is to it. But if they're talking about America as a whole and what the American people were saying about gas and diesel prices in 2022, I think anybody that was based in fucking reality knew that they were high. We knew that they were expensive. But they never ever want to point to the end of Joe Biden's term, when fuel prices had fallen back to, for diesel, around that $3 range. Inflation had fallen. Job numbers were way the fuck up. If you look at the Joe Biden presidency as a whole, instead of cherry picking the one part that was rough that we all had to work through after Donald Trump fucked everything up, Joe Biden had a successful presidency. We just had to get through the fucking hard part, which is the recurring theme, excuse me, in this country. Every time we let a fucking Republican be president, they trash the goddamn economy. And then we spend 4 to 8 years with the Democrat working hard to get shit back on track, while Fox News and the Republicans blame them the entire fucking time. It is goofy, my friends. It is absolutely insane, the way these people think. And I think I'm using the word think very, very loosely here, because they don't think. They are adamant about being told what they think. They love being told what to do. They're submissive beta cucks. They do not want to go through the trouble of having their own thoughts in their head. So what they do is they just tune into Fox News or tune into Donald Trump, and he tells them what they think, and they go, okay, that's what I think. I mean, it takes out all the work of thinking if you really were to think about it, right? If you can eliminate some of the burden off your own shoulders on a daily basis, you would do that, right? And so MAGA has chosen to do that with thinking about things. Can you believe it? They've just decided they don't want that anymore. They want someone else to do it for them. And it's an extremely, extremely frustrating thing. But my friends, I've upset them, and that's fine with me. I don't fucking mind even a little bit. But it is kind of interesting because I sort of knew that this day was coming. That as we got closer to these midterms, they were going to step up their attacks and all these things, and they were going to show up and watch my videos. Thank you to you guys. And of course, after we get through the midterms and new presidential candidates come out and we start running towards that next presidential election, well, I imagine politics is going to be pretty fucking hot for the next 3 years now here on YouTube, and it's starting to ramp up already, right? But it is so frustrating when you're in an argument with someone that is not based in reality at all. You guys know that I've been covering a lot of what's going on with the trucking industry, right? It's a bloodbath out here. It is really, really fucking bad. And of course, every time I do that, that enrages the Trump-humping truck drivers. And I got to tell you a funny one, my friends, because what you need to understand is the truckers that use YouTube are not really well known for thinking for themselves, for lack of a better way to put it, right? And one of the things these guys like kind of zero in on when they're looking for someone to attack is how many jobs that person has had over the course of their trucking career, right? It's a really bizarre thing where they lecture you about like corporate bootlicking and corporate loyalty and all these things. And the fact of the matter is those days are gone in America, right? We don't live in our parents' and even grandparents' economy where I don't know what years off the top of my head it was, but like a guy could go to work, a 40-hour work week. He could make a good living to where he could afford a 2-story house, afford a car in the garage, afford groceries for fuck's sake, and all these things. And guys would be loyal to the companies they worked for because that company took very good care of them, right? After all that, the health benefits, the good paycheck, the good salary that kept up with inflation, and actively helped the American people stay upper middle class if they just showed up to work every day, was also ended with a very nice pension at the end. So you would wait for retirement, right? Those things don't exist anymore, and the idea of being loyal to corporations is quite literally one of the goofiest fucking ideas I've ever heard in my life. Being loyal to a company, really? Are you sure? My understanding is in most fields out there, most different professions out there, the best way to get ahead is work somewhere for a couple years and start looking again, because that 2 years have passed and your wages start lagging behind the new employees that are coming in, and your company isn't going to give you a fucking raise, so you just go work somewhere else. That's a very, very common thing in sort of like the millennial, and what's the next generation? Are they Z? Would my kids be Z? I'm not really sure. That's going to be a realistic thing for them too. The idea that you spend your life being loyal to a corporation now is dead. It's dead in the fucking water, and what the hell do you want me to do about it, right? It's a very frustrating thing because, like I said, those days are just over. Like, if you spend 40 years working for the same company, what are you doing? What's going on in your life, right? But anyways, a lot of these truckers run to me because they think they got one over on me, right? And one of their things is they bitch at me about how many jobs I've had, because when I was doing the YouTube trucking channel, I was a notorious job hopper, baby. And the reason for that is because trucking companies lie to you, right? They lie about what they're hiring you for, like how many miles a driver gets on average, and what your typical week would look like. And a lot of times trucking companies don't hold up their end of the deal, and I don't see the need for me to put up with their bullshit, if I'm being quite honest with you. So the minute a trucking company would not hold up their end of the deal, I would leave, because I had a plan the entire fucking time, my friends. And my plan was to eventually do trucking my own way and not have some asshole dispatcher calling me every morning to make sure I'm up and rolling, and people just bothering me. And I was in control of my own destiny, where I picked the freight I wanted. I'm doing that now. And if there's freight, like, I don't like the appointment times on it, it's too early in the morning or too late at night, that's one of the disqualifiers, that I'm not taking that fucking load until you guys get realistic and give me a real fucking delivery time for this. Because you got me over there at like fucking 2 a.m. delivering a fucking load near goddamn Atlanta, and then telling me to park the truck after I'm done because my day's over. Are you out of your fucking mind? I don't roll like that anymore, right? So my entire plan was to just be my own person. That was it, right? So I frequently get these Trump humpers running to me and going, how many jobs have you had, right? And I answered one today, and I'm going to answer for the last time, hopefully, in this video right now today, how many jobs I've had as a truck driver. And the answer to that is the exact amount of jobs that I fucking wanted to have. That's what, the amount of jobs that I kept myself in the game, didn't allow some company to steamroll me, and every time they dropped the ball, I kicked them to the fucking curb, and I went and worked somewhere else, because eventually my goal was to own my own truck, be my own person, mind my own fucking business, and sink or swim with my own business out here. And I've accomplished that. So I cannot get a straight answer from any of these corporate bootlickers that show up to bitch at me about how many jobs I've had. I think it's the goofiest argument I've ever heard in my life. But I can't get an answer out of them, because I do frequently ask them how many they've had. And they will usually tell me that, well, I've been at my company for 13 years. I fucking lick those corporate boots. And I just got to go through the hard times with them, and everything's going to be A-okay. And I ask them frequently, I say, so when you bowed down to that company for the last 13 years of your life, which surprisingly, shockingly, is the exact amount of time that I've been a truck driver too, which part of that led to you being your own man, being self-employed, having your own truck, and kind of just living life on your own fucking terms? And I cannot get them to answer that question. I wonder why that is. I don't really know. Yeah, the answer to the question, to anyone asking how many jobs I've had, I'd say roughly in trucking 20, maybe more, could be pushing 30. I don't really fucking know. And the whole time it was because I was not going to settle, and I was going to work towards my plan of what I wanted to do with my life the entire fucking time. And here the fuck we are. I don't know what to tell you guys. And to my normal viewers, you got to know I'm like every other American out there. I'm not living high on the fucking hog. It's hard to get by out here. Diesel $6 a gallon. You need something fixed on your truck. I mean, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars to do it. But I am happy to say that even though like I'm not a rich person and I don't really care to be, as long as I can order myself a nice steak every once in a while, I feel pretty good about that. You know, I buy the same white or black t-shirts over and over. I live in a single wide trailer. I don't demand like a fancy lifestyle. I'm pretty content with what I have, honestly. So every once in a while I can have a good meal. I'm pretty happy with that. That's really all I need. But I guess I got a little bit sidetracked. Yeah, I'm not like living high on the hog, but I am damn proud that I have self-employed myself twice over. What are you MAGA dorks fucking mad about? What are you pissed about? And that feels like that was a little too long for that tangent, but I really wanted to get those points out there because they keep saying how many jobs you had. As many as I fucking wanted, bitch, because I'm an adult and I can make these decisions all by myself. Now you better get back to work, little fella, because your manager is probably watching your productivity, and bitching at me on YouTube isn't helping you keep your fucking job. Get back to it there. You know, it's just shocking. It's just shocking. But anyways, sort of back to the point of the entire video, I'll just sort of wrap it up. It's going to be a very trying time for us smaller content creators here on YouTube for the next few years, as we do have to toughen up a little bit and realize that these people are just going to be assholes and just come at us. And in place of a real argument for what's going on with the destruction of the economy, they will attack us on a personal level because they don't actually have an argument that what's going on. The only thing I think I can do is just stand firm in my beliefs and what I have to say. Always be open to the possibility that I could be wrong and modify those thoughts as I go through my journey here, and just stand strong on the fact that fascists do not fucking belong in America. I anticipate it's going to be a rough fucking 3-year road ahead of us. I really do. But it's going to be 3 years of, I think, massive growth also for the YouTubers out there telling the fucking truth about what is going on. And we just kind of got to go through it. But myself, I sometimes struggle to deal with this alternate reality version that the MAGA dorks live in, and they expect us all to bow down and fall in line with this complete fucking fantasy that they are in, that doesn't actually exist. And it's just that's what we're going to have to deal with, and that's fine, because what I truly believe is MAGA gets the loudest when either one of two things: when they are winning, right? Nobody's won a goddamn thing. Donald Trump won the presidency and everyone got fucked after, but winning is what they think they're doing. Or when they are deeply terrified that their fascist president will get removed from office or removed from power, at least through them losing the midterms. And then these fuckers get real loud trying to intimidate everyone around them to shut the fuck up. And let me tell you, that is my opinion on how the MAGA movement spread in the first place. Was a bunch of dumb sons of bitches decided they were going to intimidate everyone around them. It caught a lot of us off guard. We were like, why the fuck is our family and friends acting like this? And I don't think we were caught flat-footed is what I'm trying to say, and we weren't quite prepared to like defend ourselves because we didn't realize that our own family was going to turn into a bunch of fucking monsters right in front of us. We had no clue that that was coming. Now we got to stand firm, stand our ground, and not be pushed around by these fucking assholes, and stand up for what we believe in, and just don't let them get away with this alternate reality bullshit that they're doing, because fuck them, they're wrong, and they need to be told they're wrong. But more importantly, excuse me, than being told they're wrong, they need their party removed from power in every possible way in this country, and that needs to start happening now, leading up to these midterms, and that's what the fuck we're going to do. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my little tangent today. I just wanted to do sort of like a personal video on kind of the bullshit that's going on now as we start to ramp up before these midterms. But I should get back to work. It's starting to get hot in here now. Love you guys. Bye now.